Welcome to Commsverse. This session is called Becoming a Road Warrior with Microsoft Teams app. And today will be presented by Marin Summers.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. Happy to be here at Commsverse. It was kind of tricky, like, was it still going to happen or was it not gonna happen? So it was a bit tricky, but I'm so happy that they decided to make this an online event so that even more people could join us at this really cool, awesome, super cool event. So my name is Marin, and I'm gonna guide you through the mobile Teams app. You all know Teams from your web version, from the client version on your Windows device, but I kind of feel that the mobile app doesn't get enough love. So that's something I want to give you for that. And let's look at some of the scenarios. So the reason I chose this was how to become a road warrior, because when you're on the road, you always have your phone with you. Now, of course, last few months we haven't been on the road a lot, so maybe a better name would be how to become a work from home warrior, because even when you're working from home and you're behind your screen all the time, there's still a lot of benefits in using the mobile app. So the mobile app can do a number of things that you can't do on your client app. So that is definitely something that we are gonna take a look at today. So first, thanks to all the sponsors. We've got a gazillion amount of sponsors here. There are some really famous names on there, so definitely take a look at them. Definitely talk to them. There's the VR space, so definitely talk to them and see what kind of cool information, new knowledge you could get from these, because they're all offering really cool solutions in all kinds of ways. So definitely talk to those as well. So, as I said, my name is Marin Somers. You can find me on Twitter at Marin Somers. I've been doing mostly SharePoint for the last 14 years. I've been an MVP for 2 years. I recently got extended, so from the 1st of July, which is awesome. I live in Belgium. I do all kinds of things, but one of the funny gotchas about me is that I'm also a licensed watch and clock maker. So yeah, that's kind of a weird thing, but anyway. What I do is I mainly do productivity coaching, so I help organizations work in a better way with Office 365. So I do a lot of coaching, I do a lot of training, yeah, those things. Now, together with Steve Dolby, I've got a podcast called Office 365 Distilled. And in that podcast, we talk about Office 365, mainly governance, mainly user adoption as well. And we always end off with a whiskey tasting. Some people are saying that we should do the whiskey tasting before we talk about technology. We tried that, didn't work out, so let's just keep it at that. So every 2 weeks we come out with a new episode, so definitely take a listen if you're into podcasting. And then together with UC Mori, we also have a video series on YouTube called Blame the End User, which is mainly about user adoption, where we always try to see what's going wrong and try to blame the end user for all the mistakes that are happening in the company. We kind of fail at that every time, so we kind of come around and see that it's really the fault of the project every time again. And then we also come up with ways on how to make that better. So that's what I do. Fairly busy guy, but okay. Well, I still love to present on things like this, so this is mainly what I do and love. So let's go. I've got a number of demos. I don't have a lot of slides or backgrounds, some just mainly demos, mainly things about how to practically do this. So first demo is just setting up the stage. second demo is how we can keep in touch. Then we can talk about how we can really do the bulk of our work. And then I've got 2 demos that will be in slides. The one would be about doing meetings with the mobile phone, and the last one would be about shifts. We've got a few slides on what is next for Teams Mobile, and if we got some time, there will be some bonus slides as well about something new that's gonna come out. You maybe already seen or heard about that, but I'm very excited about that. So that is definitely something that we can show as a bonus if we got some time as well. So Teams Mobile, Teams is the hub for teamwork, and it's still valid if you look at your mobile phone as well. So you have the ability to communicate to your team, to people in your organization, through your chat and your video chat and your calls, everything like that. You have your collaboration features that just connect you to everything in Office 365 via Teams. You can customize, you can extend a number of functionalities that you have, like, for example, that Shifts app. Those are things that you can have as an added value in Teams as well. And then, of course, you can use it having the confidence that it just uses the same security features that you have in Office 365. So if you have Intune rolled out, for example, you lose your phone, you know that it can be wiped, stuff like that. So you can just know that you have the same secure way of working as you do with your laptop or with your desktop computer. Yeah. So let's first set up the stage. And when I was creating the slides, I didn't think about that the text wouldn't really look very well on this one, but okay, I'm just gonna demo this anyway, so don't worry about it. So this is my mobile phone. I've got my phone here. First, I really surely want to talk about the other applications that you have. So almost every application in Office 365 has a mobile version. And definitely, if you haven't taken a look at it, definitely take a look at the Office application. It's just called Office, and it can do so much. It can do templates, you can do PDF signing, you can create files, you can look at files, open files in your OneDrive, in SharePoint, in Teams. It can do so much. It is an awesome application. But today we're going to talk about Teams, and the Teams app is there by itself as well. So one of the things that I really want to thank Mark Vail for is when you push on that Teams app and you just keep it there for a little bit, you actually can create shortcuts to other things. So for example, I can create a shortcut to my new chat. So I can just have it there as well. So then I can just click on the new chat button. I can directly go to chat. So you can do that with a number of these items. So for example, for the Teams search or something else. So that is definitely the first thing that I want to show is you can have a number of extra buttons on your screen to do that one tap less on your phone. And then if we open up Teams, you typically have that what you have on your client app is you've got that left rail navigation. Well, here we've got the same rail, but we've got it on the bottom. And the thing is, it's kind of like an application drawer, or that's what I like to call it, is where I can click on more, is that it actually opens up this little drawer of a number of applications that I can have. And the fun thing is that I can also just reorder these things here. For example, I've got activity chat, Teams, calendar, shifts here, but maybe I'm not really using shifts in my organization here. So I can click on reorder, and I can actually, for example, drag my calls button here, save it, and then actually this would be now I've got the other buttons here on the bottom. So that's actually my application drawer and the way how I can change those up and how I can play with the buttons that I have in order to work with my mobile app. Now, next up, what we have is, so if I click on those 3 lines next to the chat, I actually go into my main, yeah, how do you call that? My main page where I can see all my settings, where I can also see all my organizations. And one of the things that I really love about the Teams mobile app is the way how I can just quickly change accounts and quickly change organizations. So something that is taking me a number of seconds on my client app just will take me like 2 seconds in my mobile app. So if I jump to my other application, boom, and I'm just in another org. I can also, for example, jump to another account where I really logged in with another account. So you will see all the different chats that I'm having for this account. It just takes me like 1.5 seconds before I jumped over and before I am into that other account. Also very funny is I can have a different application drawer, or I can have different buttons on my menu here on the bottom, depending on which account that I'm logged in with. So I'm just gonna jump back to my own account, and you see that within a second I just switched account and now I'm at my own account again. So it just goes so very fast. What else do we have here? Other things that I'm super excited about the mobile application are the notifications and the quiet hours. So I can actually set daily quiet hours and quiet days, because I always have my mobile phone with me, because this is my mobile phone that I use all the time. That's my personal device. So I can say every day after between 7 o'clock in the evening and 7 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to be disturbed with work things from Teams. And on a Saturday and a Sunday, also just don't bother me with notifications from Teams. Yeah. We'll take a look later on to see what is what and how you can really work with that as well. But I love the quiet hours functionality. And what else do we have? We've got a number of settings here. So for example, of course, dark theme. I normally have dark theme on, but when I'm presenting like now, I just turn it off so that it just looks better on the screen. And here I can also just jump into a number of things. For example, also very useful is maybe the image upload quality. So if I'm using Teams and I send images because I'm running around on a big, I don't know, facility, and I need to take pictures of things that are going wrong, for example, how do I want these, how do I want the resolution to be? Do I want to have faster uploads, less data usage, or do I want to have these in high resolution or in full size? So those are definitely things that you can take a look at, and definitely the things that you normally have with a mobile device. So the things that you would expect, that you would think about when you're using a mobile device. Yeah. All right, let's jump back into our slides. So that was my first demo. My second demo is how we can actually keep in touch. So if you want to jump back here, if you want to keep in touch with other people, so you definitely, of course, have your activity pane, which is kind of empty here. So let's jump into my other one here, where we've got some activity. There we go. So here I will see all those things that I'm notified about, and you will see that they're in bold, just like you have in your regular activity. The things that I haven't read, But if you click on them, you can actually mark them as read, or you can actually say, I haven't read them. So you can actually play with these, with the activity feed there as well. Let's jump back to my personal account. And we can go into our chat. And I have, for example, I'm talking with Lloyd here. One of the things that I definitely love here is, for example, he asked me like, yo bro, could you take a look at the doc I just sent? What I can do is I can just swipe right, sorry, and that will actually take that file as a quote. So now I can just respond, and it will actually use that as creating an answer to that thing that he asked me. So I think that is a super cool functionality as well, to be able to do that. Yeah. So you can just swipe right to have the quote part. Also, very cool functionality is that you have this little microphone on the right bottom. So I can actually send this person a voice message. And that is something that you wouldn't normally do in your client app, but something that would be totally useful here in your client app, in your mobile app, sorry. All right. Next up, some limitations. The mobile app can't do everything that you can do in your normal client app. And that's normal. That's perfectly okay. So, for example, we don't have support for conditional formatting or for metadata. If I'm looking at files, I will just see my files. I will not see the thing that I would see in the client app, where I could have this extra metadata, where I could have this conditional formatting applied. I would just see the files. And that's okay, because on the mobile phone, we just have a limited screen real estate. So we don't have all that power, all that real estate where we can play around with all that extra information. There's no way to really create an announcement post, but once more, that's okay, because if you're using your mobile phone, you probably don't want to create a big news post. You probably want to keep it short and simple. So there's not really a need for that. You can't really play around with the reply options, because once more, you probably don't want to do that on your phone. You just want to do that once on your client. You can't post in multiple channels. That is something that I would find beneficial if we had that on the Teams mobile as well. At the moment, there's no background blur. It is coming for iPhone, for meetings in iPhone, definitely, but not for Android yet. There's no Meet Now functionality. We don't have stickers. You can't edit a wiki, and there's the way how it shows your teams and hidden teams is different than what you have in your client app. We'll take a look at that in 5 seconds. But you've got a ton of extra capabilities in the mobile app versus your client app. So I already talked about the super fast account switching, and that is something that I love. I'm a consultant. I work with a number of customers. I have to be in a number of Teams tenants, and this on the mobile phone just allows me to just browse around, just go from one customer to the other one in a matter of 0.3 seconds, and I just love that ability. The ability to give voice messages. If you just type in text messages, it wouldn't always give you that right message. So if you would leave a voice message, that could convey the message better, but also you don't have to type it in. You don't have to type in that whole message. If you want to say more than just 2 sentences, just give somebody a voice message, and that would just be so much easier and so much productive of your time. The quiet hours, I just love the quiet hours functionality because I have my mobile phone with me 24/7. So I definitely need to have some kind of way to turn it off and not have it disturb me when I'm not at work. Also really cool, what you can see here on the right on the screenshot is that there's a better reply versus new button. So one of the things that is happening all the time at all of my customers is people are missing the reply button and hitting the new button when they actually want to reply. So they already fixed that in the mobile app, where you actually have that purple circle to create a new message, and the reply button is so much better there. So awesome. When you chat, there's the swipe right to quote. I use that all the time when I'm using WhatsApp, for example. I just love the fact that I have that on Teams as well. And thank you to Carolina Ketukari for giving me that awesome hack, because I'm using it all the time right now. Something that I also really like is easy answers. So when somebody sends me a chat message, I get this little pop-up, and you can see that here on the screenshot. And then I've got just like pre-programmed answers that I can just hit, so I don't have to type it in. So that just saves me another 10-15 seconds and just makes it so much easier for me to communicate with people. And of course, the extra capability is it's mobile. So when I'm working from home, when I have to take a bathroom break, I just take my phone with me, and I can just keep on chatting and whatever. So when I'm making dinner in the kitchen, I can just have that with me. I can be on meetings with my mobile while I'm doing the dishes, for example. It just works, and I just love the fact that you can just do it on mobile. So that's just awesome. Now, I was talking about those quiet hours, and there are a few gotchas when you're working with the quiet hours. So the first one is it's based on your device time. So if you travel to a different time zone, the time zone will change. The quiet hours will change with that device time as well. So that is brilliant. So you don't have to set it every time you travel. It's also set per device. So if you got 3 mobile devices, you have to set it for every device itself. Yeah. It's not working when you're actively using the app. So if I'm using the app to chat or whatever, I will get notifications. It's only quiet hours for Teams, so it's not quiet hours for Skype or all the other applications. So people can still call you, WhatsApp you, whatever. So it's only for Teams. It's not for the whole device. Incoming calls will still get through. That's important to know. And also urgent notifications. So the notification that will give you a prompt every 2 minutes for the next 20 minutes, that will also still notify you. So you will still see that appearing there. Yeah. So thanks to Tony Redmond for he wrote a really good blog post on all the gotchas on the quiet hours, and this is just my small short getting of them. So then let's move to collaboration, to actually just doing the work in Teams. And I'm just jumping back here. So if I go to my teams, I've got a number of my teams here. And you actually see that you don't have your hidden teams, but what you do have is you have see all teams. And in see all teams, I can actually mark which teams I want to see and which I don't want to see. So I don't want to see the adaptive cards. I don't want to see my deployment team. I don't want to see finance. And then when I jump back, I have those hidden. So I just love the fact that I can do that. Also, I can still, if I click on a channel, if I tap and hold a channel, I can pin channels. So that is definitely how I want to work with my my client as well. So I'm a member of 80 different teams. I just want to have those important channels on top. Also, creating a new team is you press those 3 buttons on top, and then you can create a new team just like you can in the client side. So everything that you can do there, you can do that here as well. If we jump into a specific channel, I can see my posts, I can see my files, I can see more if I want to. So all the other tabs will display here in the more part. And then here in the posts part, I can do a lot of really cool things. So I can just type a new message. I can add new, all the ways that you can add extra posts are here as well. But there is a really cool extra functionality. So for example, what you can do here is you can actually take pictures. And what it will do is it will actually take my, it will use that lens capability. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking a picture of this, and it will actually grab that and change it up. Now I'm not working for these people, but this is just the one thing that I have available. And what I can do now is I can just like grab something and just make some marks here. And then when I'm done, I can actually share that image. So that is something I can do on my mobile phone. So for example, I'm walking around in the factory, I see something that is not okay. So what I can do is I can take a picture, I can make some little markups on that image, and I can just send it into the channel or to as a message to the floor manager to make sure that he knows what's wrong or what's up. So there are a number of other things that I can do here. So I can make my priority things. I can have emojis. Also really cool is I can send my location. So this is the location where I'm currently at, and I can actually share that location to everyone in my team or to somebody as a person in a one-on-one chat message. Also, what I can do is when I'm typing my message, my device has this speech to text functionality. I can also use that speech to text functionality to actually write down a larger message so so that I don't have to type it in on my small keyboard here. So those are a number of functionalities that I have that I can do when I'm using Teams on my mobile phone. So really awesome features that you have here. Also, I can have my notifications set per channel if I want as well. So just notify me for all the messages in this channel or only 2 replies. So those are different ways on how you can make sure that people see what you do, or that you can see what other people are doing, or keep in the loop, getting to know those kinds of things. All right. So next up, demo number 4. And this is a demo that I'm actually just gonna show you in screenshots because I can't really go into another meeting while I'm already in a meeting, so that doesn't work very well. So what can I do meeting-wise with my Teams mobile? Well, most of the things that you can do with your client app as well. So I can start a new event, I can join an existing meeting, and I can share content. So how does that look like? For example, if I want to create a new event, I've got that little calendar icon there. I can click on that, and I just can create a new event. So I can give it a title, I can add it to an existing channel, I can add participants in there, I can set up my date and my time. So everything I can do with a normal meeting as well. I can't create a live meeting here, but once more, if I want to create the live event, I probably want to do that on my desktop because that will probably take some more time and more thinking through of everything. But if I just want to create a short, simple and easy meeting, I can just do that with my mobile device. Yeah. So I can also join an event, of course. So when I'm opening up my calendar, I can see all the things that are happening today on my calendar. And I can just, if there's a meeting happening right now, I can just click on that join button. So I join the meeting. I get my pre-meeting screen where I can actually choose if I want to show my video, if I want to show my microphone, or if I want to connect to a room, for example. So that is an awesome capability. If you're walking around in your organization and you have these Teams rooms set up, that I can actually just join within a room. So it will just look at the nearest room that is available, and then I can just walk in and I can use the big screen and the microphone and the speakers there instead of just my phone. So that is an awesome functionality that you have there as well. I can decide how I want to join the meeting. So then I will go into the meeting, and then we've got the thing that I don't like about meetings with my mobile phone. If I'm using my mobile phone, I actually have to choose between seeing the contents that is being shared or seeing the webcams of people and the conversations that are happening. So if I join the meeting, I just see everyone. So right now I'm just alone, but when I want to see the conversations in the meeting, I actually have to click on that conversation button. There I can see all the conversations, but then I can't see the people anymore. So then I have to tap the back button to actually go back and then to actually see the people. So if you're in a large meeting with 100 people, for example, then people will start chatting a lot, but people will also present something. And then you constantly have to jump between the conversation and the thing that is being presented. So if you know you've got a meeting like that coming up, please switch to something else. Switch to a room device, switch to your laptop, whatever, because it's a really painful situation on your mobile phone. Now, I totally get it. You have that limited screen real estate. I know that it's not easy to come up with a good solution, but this for me makes it like really, really tough. I love the functionality that I can have a meeting, and a meeting with 1 to a few works just brilliantly. But if I know it will be a meeting with 100 people and the conversation part will be used a lot, I will switch to my laptop. Yeah. Content sharing, also super cool functionality. So if I need to share something with other people in the call, I can just do that. I can just click on the share button that I want to share something. It will ask me what I want to share. Do I want to share a picture or video? Do I want to share PowerPoint, or do I want to share my screen, just like I'm doing right here? So do I actually want to show my screen? So I can choose that I want to share a PowerPoint, for example, and it will show me all the recent files that I've been working with. So all the recent files that I opened up that are in SharePoint, that are in OneDrive, that are in Teams, and I can just choose the one that I want to show, and then it will just go into presentation mode, and it will just show me this. And I've got these little arrows on the button on the bottom of my screen, so I can just jump to the next slide or jump to my previous slide. Yeah. So that just works awesomely. Also, when I turn my phone into landscape mode, it will actually make that bigger, and it gives me an awesome experience. So that is something that I definitely love. So if I want to go outside, sit on my terrace when the weather is nice in the summer, I can just sit outside, put my legs up, put my feet up, and just do my presentation from my mobile device. So that just works brilliantly like that. Then my last demo, is a little demo around shifts. I don't know how many of you already have been working with shifts. If you like shifts, I've got a number of customers that have been using it. Some customers are using it for their help desk, for example, their IT help desk, where they have an early shift and a late shift. And they just do it like this, so everybody knows when they need to do an early or late shift and when they have to get in and get out. It's also a really cool way to clock in and to clock out, to actually have a monthly overview of when you worked, where for what. So it's a really cool solution. So just let's dig in a little bit deeper on the shifts functionality. So if you open up shifts, you actually go here first. So you can actually see your shifts, the upcoming shifts on the bottom. And on top, you have a number of buttons like your requests, the open shifts, and your time clock. So if we jump into if you open up a shift, then you can actually see the kind of lost for words here for a second. So I can actually see all the shifts that I'm in. If I open up a shift, I can actually see who else is working with me on that shift, and I can open up a chat with everyone on that shift. So if we want to do something crazy for lunch, if we need to bring something, if I want to talk to them saying I'll be 10 minutes late, I've got that chat capability here, so I can immediately have a conversation with everyone on that shift without burdening everyone else on my team who is not on that shift. Yeah? So that's a pretty cool capability. So there are a number of requests that I can do. So the most important one would be a request to some time off. So I can just create a new request here, and then I can either swap a shift, say, look, I have to work that day, but I don't, something's come up, so I can open up that shift, or I can actually request some time off if I want to go for holidays. So let's request some time off. I can look for the time of the type of time off that I want to have. So for example, do I want to have my parental leave? Do I want to have holiday? Do I just want to have a sick day? And then I can just add that, add a reason, add the start date and end date, and just submit it. My manager gets a message about that, and he can approve or she can approve. And then I will get this message saying that my manager approved my time off. So it's really super easy, and I can just see in my requests pane all the requests that are being handled by my manager, or the things that have been approved there as well. So it just works super easy. Now, the whole clock in, clock out functionality, how does that work? So super easy. I just go to my time clock. I start the timer. It starts to run. After about 5 seconds, I'm ready to take a break. So I just click on the start button again to actually go into break mode. It would be cool if they would actually change that button into a pause button instead of a play button, but that's just me nitpicking. So I click on that start button again, then I'm on a break, and then after a few seconds, I'm ready to start working again. So I can just click on that break button again, and then I'm back on my shift. At some point after 25 seconds, my shift is done in this case. So I can actually click on the stop button, and then my shift is done, and I can I have to confirm my timesheet. So it will show me a list of all the hours I've been working that day, so I can confirm if that information is correct. And if that, well, I can still edit it, of course, but when I confirmed it, it's confirmed and it goes on my balance for that month. So what else is cool? If you use this, for example, for your first line workers, you can have an SMS sign-in verification if they are using shared devices, for example. So that is definitely, if you're looking at shifts for your frontline workers, definitely take a look at that SMS sign-in functionality there. So what is next for Teams Mobile? What are some upcoming features that we will see? Something that is being rolled out this summer is the walkie-talkie functionality. So once more, super cool for your frontline workers. So people working in a shop, they have to talk to each other. If it's a really big shop, they can just do that with the walkie-talkie functionality. And there will be some physical devices coming out as well. With a walkie-talkie button, with special ears, with a special button where you can talk to everyone in that walkie-talkie mode as well. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I think this will be really awesome. And this will also just talk to everyone on the shift. So it will not just talk to everyone on a team, but just the people that are working in that shift. So really awesome functionality. There are some really cool devices coming out, like these head-mounted devices for other areas where you might be in danger. The background blur for iOS, something that I already mentioned. This is coming out as well, I believe this summer. So I'm looking for that as well. There are a bunch of upgrades to the audio quality. So because you're using your mobile phone, you don't always have that good connectivity. You might be some area where you have lower connectivity. This will actually jump on that and improve that sound, improve that quality by a whole number of special things and special AI kind of reactions, and improve that sound quality and improve that quality of the things that you're saying, the words, how they're pronounced. It will just upgrade that enormously. So that is definitely something cool as well. Then the tags and the targeted communications, something that you see in the client as well. Really cool functionality where you can actually just chat with only the people that are working on that shift, or only the people that you want to target. So for example, you have a team of your IT people, but you only want to talk to the help desk people, or you only want to talk to the admins, for example. So you can actually make a tag that would just talk to these groups, and then you can use that tag to just target those people that you want to talk to instead of the whole team. So super cool functionality as well. And then, as I said, when we have some time, I will also give you a little bit of a bonus. So these are a few slides around the new Teams personal functionality. So this is a version of Teams that is not aimed for you in your business, in your organization, but this is really Teams and how you can use it within the family to keep each other updated, to store important files, to keep track of where everyone is. And you will see that it uses a number of functionalities that I've already showed you. Like for example, how you can see here the where everyone is, for example. So you see that little map where other people are. So that is a brilliant functionality. So what can you do with it? So you can create groups with your friends to create, to plan your trip, to plan classes, whatever you want to do. You can have group chats, you can have video calls with your friends. You can collaborate over specific lists. So for example, a supermarket list that you would share with your partner. And if you're in the supermarket, you can just check off those to-do things on the list. So yes, I brought milk. Yes, I brought cornflakes. So your partner would also see that on the same list that your partner shouldn't have to bring those things from the shop as well. So brilliant. You can coordinate again agendas, your schedules. You can share photos and videos with each other. But also really cool is that you can store confidential information and confidential documents. So for example, your ID cards, pictures, your insurance information, Wi-Fi passwords, stuff like that. You can all store that on there so that everyone in your organization, your family, has access to these things. So awesome functionality there. So you can chat with each other. You can do all the things that you can do in your organization chat. So really cool functionalities. As I just said, you can share all these things that you do normally in your organization, but same within the family. Share your location, super cool functionality for your children that you want to see where they are when they're coming back from school, so you can track them. So I think that's a really cool. It's a bit Big Brother-like, but it's a really cool functionality there. So as a wrap up, there are definitely a ton of benefits for every scenario, for every role that you have within your organization to use the Teams mobile app. It's got a number of awesome features. It's missing some features, but I think that's okay because you're using a different screen real estate, but it's got a number of awesome things. Don't do meetings while you're driving, please. Also wash your hands, try to work from home. That's still a thing. And if you want to ask more questions, this is the link to the breakout room where I'll be going after this session. But also if you want to ask me questions, contact me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on my blog, wherever. Just ask questions. I'm always happy to respond. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you for that, Marin.
Yeah.
So I think we only have one question.
All right.
Which is the add chat icon. So the context sensitive when you hold down on the icon. Is that available only in Android, or is that an iOS feature as well? Do you know?
I have no idea. I've never used an Android device. Never used an iPhone.
Yeah.
So I would say try it out, or have somebody try it out.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. So I think that's the end of the session. If you want to speak to Marin, there is a link posted in the chat, but also on the presentation there to join the breakout afterwards. So if you've got any more questions or want to speak to Marin, please do so. And thank you for everyone's time.
All right. Thank you all, and see you later in the breakout room.